You're watching KHON2, working for Hawaii. Now on Wake Up Today.
It's not just for emergency use anymore. The FDA gives full approval to Pfizer's COVID vaccine.
We're working for Hawaii. Wake Up Today starts now.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wake Up Today. It is Aloha Monday, the 23rd of August, from a brand new home.
Move over, George and Weezy, because we are moving on up. We got a new studio, new set. For more on the weather situation and the new weather changes heading our way, let's turn it over to Kelly Simek. Morning, Cal.
Good morning. Thanks so much, you guys. Yes, and new technology. Perfect timing because, of course, we're tracking the remnants associated with what was Linda. So here's what we're looking at with this system. Going to be delivering us a lot of extra cloud cover and rainfall for today. So keep those umbrellas on hand. We're looking at the partly to mostly cloudy conditions once again for today. And as this moves through, it's also going to be quite muggy, producing not only a lot of rainfall, but also very strong winds. So the threat of heavy rainfall, though, is here and increasing the threat for flash flooding through late tonight. We're looking at close to about an 80% chance of rain. And then, of course, thunderstorms may also anchor over the island mountains for today, with the systems producing heavier showers over the higher terrain areas. So a flash flood watch is currently in place for the entire state. We have a wind advisory for much of the state. Many areas expecting to be getting up to about 30 miles an hour consistently, some gusting to about 50. And again, the chance of thunderstorms for today. So we have close to about a 60 to 80% chance of rainfall through the evening hours. So even though right now rainfall is on the lighter side, as the day progresses, we start to warm up, we could see more of those heavier showers triggered. So don't let the just light sprinkles right now fool you, because there is still the threat of the heavy showers as what was Linda is still on its way towards us. All right, now let's move into the traffic center. For the most part, things have been moving pretty well. You can see on the KHON2 mobile app, our traffic looking pretty good. We're seeing a lot of greens out there. So for the most part, things have been moving really well. Now, I did check with HPD. As of right now, we're not monitoring any major accidents or concerns, at least luckily none on any of our main thoroughfares. So things are moving and grooving pretty well. The last incident that we had reported was at about 10 minutes ago over in Kapolei. We had an accident on Hanua Street, but again, that is a side street. So nothing on our main roadways. So things are looking pretty good, but that's for right now. Typically, when we see a lot of rainfall in the islands, we see plenty of showers roll through, and that's likely going to be coming through. You can see H1 Middle Street, even a bit slick out there. Even from the west side, we've been seeing those showers come through. Luckily, things moving really well. The H1 Kunia moving and grooving through the H1 H2 merge. Things are looking good. And overall, it's a pretty solid start to the day. East side, seeing the wet road conditions as well. Kalani'anaole Highway, very wet. You can see some ponding conditions, so definitely be careful out there as you're heading out. All right, Christine and Ross, back over to you.
Thank you, Kelly. Well, as Kelly just mentioned, thousands of college students begin classes today, not only at UH, but also at Chaminade and HPU. The Department of Transportation says it expects traffic to be at pre-pandemic levels, especially around the UH Manoa area. DOT officials are reminding everyone to plan ahead and add more time to their commute.
You're watching Wake Up Today with Christina Ueno and Ross Shimabuku.
Welcome back. It's 5:19. Here is today's Need to Know. The city and county of Honolulu will begin enforcing a vaccine mandate for workers today. Employees who are not vaccinated must file for an exemption and will then have to be tested once a week for COVID.
Speaking of vaccines, the University of Hawaii is hosting a vaccine clinic at its West Oahu campus today.
We're working for Hawaii. You're watching Wake Up Today.
Happy Aloha Monday, everybody. It's the 23rd of August. I'm Christine Ueno.
I'm Rosh Mabuka, and before we get to your top headlines, let's get an update on that weather situation with Kelly Simon, because, Kel, some big changes headed our way. Already here.
Yeah, that's right. We've been tracking that gale low that's currently bearing down on Maui. It's coming in from the northeast. Right now, a few light showers pushing through. Nothing too heavy or too widespread, but we are expecting that to be ramping up as the day progresses, so do keep those umbrellas on hand. Now, the system itself, though, is weakening. So yes, we'll see the extra cloud cover. We'll see the rainfall, some of which could be heavy at times, as well as isolated embedded thunderstorms that are associated with, again, what was Hurricane Linda.
Thank you very much, Kel. Now, coming up tomorrow, more on Wake Up Today. With the real estate market skyrocketing here in the islands, especially on Oahu, we'll speak with the Better Business Bureau about finding the right mortgage lender for your financial needs. Hope you liked our new set. Has that new car smell still. Thanks for joining us, folks. Have a great Monday. Take care and aloha.
We're working for Hawaii. Take 2 starts now.
Good morning, everyone. It is 8:01. We thank you so much for joining us here for Take 2.
Yes, and in our new home, the studio looking nice, beautiful images, and of course, finally getting to stand next to my good friend, Kelly and Christine here. And now it is time to break down the top stories of the day.
Well, people across the country are cleaning up after storms dumped several inches of rain in the Northeast and Tennessee.
Yeah, this is happening right now. Several counties remain under a flood warning as the now tropical storm Henry moves northeast. The slow-moving storm left thousands without power and flooded parts of New England down through the northeast Pennsylvania area. Meanwhile, in Tennessee, more than 20 people are dead and missing after floodwaters surged throughout the parts of the state over the weekend. Rescue crews are frantically searching for those that are missing as they navigate piles of debris.
We're working for Hawaii. You're watching Take 2.
Welcome back, 8:26. Ever wanted to track your kids on their walk to school? All the time. New tech offers easy ways to keep tabs on your keiki and make sure they're safe.
Yeah, here's Rich DeMuro with more.
You're watching Take 2 with Christine Ueno and Kelly Simek.
8:47, here is today's Need to Know. High COVID case counts continue in the state. 893 new infections were reported across the islands yesterday. There was also one new death, a Maui woman in her 30s.
Coming up on Living 808, hope you're hungry. Hawaii's Kitchen features 3 restaurants in Aiea, starting with El Charro Mexicano Restaurant.
Oh, wow, that looks good. Also ahead, every dog has its day, and this is definitely it. We're celebrating man's best friend.
Oh, look how cute. Plus, your ticket to new movies. Let's get things popping because
It's time for Living 808.
What's up? Over the hump, Friday's Eve.
Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Living 808.
Yes, I'm wearing green in because it's
of-
game week.
Oh.
I was going to wear like a UH shirt, but it probably wouldn't have worked.
Do you have any new ones, or are they back from your UH football days? So they,
You know, I don't, and to be honest,
Might not fit the same.
I've gone to practice a few times, but I don't know because they were Under Armour, right?
right.
Now they're like Adidas.
Oh, they changed.
So,
They
but
have
all my gear is Under Armour.
You still have all of it?
I still
Or
have
is
some
it-
of the Nike gear.
Do
They're
you?
Sponsored by Nike.
Wow.
So I'm probably going to be a little off this,
Yeah.
at least the first few weeks.
I know, and everything's changed now that college athletes can actually make money for sponsorships and things too.
Not like I would have gotten paid for anything, but
And you never know.
man, I know.
As COVID cases in the state remain high, Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi reinstates gathering restrictions in an effort to bring those numbers down.
Plus, Pfizer's COVID vaccine received the stamp of approval today from the FDA, granting full approval 8 months after the vaccine was authorized for emergency use. We'll have these stories and more when you join us for Hawaii's first local news at 4 o'clock.
Now at 4.
Restrictions on gatherings are once again in place on Oahu in an effort to bring down COVID cases. Plus, more COVID cases mean more people hospitalized, leaving workers even more overwhelmed. And Pfizer's vaccine receives full approval from the FDA.
Tropical storm remnants bring flood advisories across the state. We'll find out how long this wet weather will stick around.
We're working for Hawaii. The KHON2 News at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. Heavy rain and gusty winds are moving through the islands today. Let's go straight to Justin Cruz with the latest.
Yeah, it's a lot of rain today, and that's triggered a flash flood watch posted for all islands. Let's take a look. We had flood advisories in place for Oahu, Maui County, and the Big Island. This is a satellite shot of the remnants of what was once Tropical Storm Linda. The center of the system is where the strongest winds are and the heaviest rains are as well.
You're watching the KHON2 News at 4 with Gina Manzeri and Justin Cruz.
Storm remnants of what was once Hurricane Henry continue to bring heavy rain to the northeast. What's left of the storm continues to weaken, and the winds have weakened down to about 25 miles per hour. And now the cleanup begins.
Coming up on the KHON2 News at 5, the islands getting drenched thanks to remnants of former Tropical Storm Linda. How long the stormy weather will last.
Plus, more gathering restrictions are heading for Oahu as COVID cases continue to soar. What it means for weddings, live entertainment, sporting events, trade shows, and more.
These stories and more coming up after Inside Edition.
Now at 5.
Signs of slowing down.
That includes weddings, an industry still reeling and trying to recover from the first shutdown more than a year ago.
And the Pfizer vaccine gets full FDA approval. Will it result in more shots and more mandates?
We're working for Hawaii. The KHON2 News at 5 starts now.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this first day of the work week. And we begin yet again with the continued explosion of infections that show no sign of slowing down.
571 new COVID cases across the state today, more than 9,000 in 2 weeks, prompting island mayors to add restrictions to stop the spread.
On Oahu, that means no more large gatherings. Nikki Schenfeld begins our coverage.
A familiar situation is starting to unfold once again. Governor Ige is asking visitors not to come to Hawaii, and he's asking residents not to travel off island. And Mayor Blangiardi is canceling all large gatherings until at least September 22nd.
You're watching the KHON2 News at 5 with Howard Deshevsky and Bridget Namata.
A 60-year-old woman, New York woman, dead after getting into trouble in waters off Princeville, Kauai. Officials say shortly before 6 p.m. Friday, the woman, Therese Waltz, was unresponsive when she was pulled from the ocean.
Does it for us. Thanks for watching the KHON2 News at 5 in our new home.
On our new, brand new set.
We're working for Hawaii. The KHON2 World Report starts now.
Good evening, I'm Joe Moore. Thank you for joining us on this Monday, the 23rd of August. The Food and Drug Administration granted full approval to Pfizer's 2-dose COVID vaccine today. President Biden and medical professionals are hoping the approval will mean more people will get vaccinated. Currently, just over half of the U.S. population is vaccinated. Matt Finn has more.
You're watching the KHON2 World Report with Joe Moore.
A Capitol police officer who shot and killed a woman during the January 6th riot has been cleared of wrongdoing. An internal investigation by the Capitol Police Department found the officer acted lawfully and within policy when she shot and killed Ashley Babbitt, who was climbing through a broken part of the door in an area known as the Speaker's Lobby when she was shot.
Now at 6.
Long hours, extra days, and few breaks. The pandemic has been a never-ending marathon for healthcare workers, but now they're finally getting some relief.
We're working for Hawaii. The KHON2 News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this Tuesday, the 31st of August. Several hospitals in the state continue to operate near or beyond capacity as more COVID patients are in need of care. But now, local healthcare workers are finally getting some much-needed relief. Max Rodriguez follows up.
You're watching the KHON2 News at 6 with Joe Moore.
Honolulu police are investigating a shooting today at an assisted living facility. It happened shortly before 11 o'clock this morning in the parking garage at the Plaza Waikiki. The case has been classified as 2 unattended deaths at this time, but police say they're investigating if it was a possible murder-suicide.
Now at 9.
With more COVID cases come more long haulers, some of whom will not make it home alive.
And with cases and hospitalizations soaring, some county mayors now pleading with the residents and visitors, hunker down and don't gather.
And the third time is not the charm. We hear from a couple now forced to postpone their wedding again, weeks from their special day.
We're working for Hawaii. The KHON2 News at 9 starts now.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight. We begin again with COVID and the big surge of infections. Hospitalizations are up. Doctors are seeing some patients who recover from COVID in a matter of days.
Well, they're also seeing others who do not. Hospitalized for weeks, some never make it home. And with limited capacity, it's causing concern for local hospitals. Chrissy Tamashiro has a story that's new at 9.
Hilo Medical Center currently has 29 COVID patients in its facility. 3 of them are what doctors are calling long haulers.
You're watching the KHON2 News at 9 with Howard Deshefsky and Bridget Namata.
Welcome back, everybody. A slew of legal cases and settlements with former and current big-name officials could soon be costing all of us. The City Council Committee today voted to advance a settlement of a wrongful termination claim made by former Parks Director Michelle Nikota.
We're working for Hawaii. You're watching the KHON2 News.
Welcome back, everybody. Hey, what a difference 24 hours makes, right?
I know. Gray and gloomy yesterday, bright and sunny today. Here's Justin to tell us what tomorrow has in store. Jess.
Yeah, it's looking good. We have beach weather back over the islands, trade winds tonight. Not a lot of showers. You could see these windward showers kind of rolling through the islands and a few showers downstream. But for the most part, the islands are going to be dry.
Now at 10.
COVID hospitalizations are on the rise, and some patients are spending weeks in the hospital.
Plus, as the virus spreads, flu season just around the corner, too. What you need to know if you plan on getting the COVID and flu vaccines.
And we are hours away from more restrictions going into effect on Oahu. The new rules forcing a local couple to postpone their wedding for a 3rd time.
We're working for Hawaii. The KHON2 News at 10 starts now.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight as the state battles a surge in COVID cases, one that certainly continues. Got to be reminded the flu season is almost upon us, too.
Yeah, it officially starts on October 9th this year, but doctors say you should get your flu shot as soon as possible. That's also around the time many will be getting COVID booster shots.
That's right. Sam Spangler tonight with more on what you need to know in a story that is new at 10.
Influenza cases and deaths have plummeted across the United States and here in Hawaii as safety practices like masks, social distancing, and higher flu vaccination rates have eliminated transmission. Now, healthcare workers are asking for more of the same to help their overworked staff.
You're watching the KHON2 News at 10 with Howard Deshefsky and Lauren Day.
Increased earthquake activity at Kilauea volcano prompted scientists to upgrade its eruption threat to orange level. They say the volcano is not erupting, and this does not indicate an eruption is imminent.